Hi Bukola, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you doing as well?
I'm very well. Bukola is joining us from Nigeria. Bukola, do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I would love to do that. Thank you so much for inviting me, Julia. My name is Bukola from Nigeria, and I'll start with my current role, which I'm doing right now. I'm the country council president of World Merit Nigeria. Outside that, I also run a startup called Canque Africa. It's a tech startup. So we're just trying to infuse technology and see how we can actually work around technology to make people living in the rural community access the basic primary health care services. So it's like a new startup. And I'm also running Moms in Tech Hub. So that's for basically stay-at-home mom that are in tech, or they are tech enthusiasts that are really willing to join the tech profession. So like a community, a hub whereby we could relate, we could talk about our fears outside technology and probably serve as a support system for mom.
So I got very interested in your mom in tech. So do you think you will elaborate a little about what is mom in tech? Because I think a lot of women around the world would be so interested in what is mom in tech.
Okay, so mom in tech basically is started because most of the thing I do, I work from home. So I see if I could work from home, then there are tons of women that are stay-at-home moms that also have other skills that they have and they can develop while at home. So mom in tech basically is like a hub, or a tech hub, but it's not really restricted to people in the tech field. Like some people now that they are good in graphic designing, they could sharpen that skill in graphic design, and then they could find their career pathway by being a UX designer. That's in the tech field. Some might even like coding, because I think I didn't say I was self-taught in terms of coding, but I attended some classes offline, and I could practically, I knew how to use Python programming language. It was basically simple for me to do. So I feel like amidst me being a mom with all my responsibility, I could do that. So definitely any other mom could do that as well. And learning all of these skills, there are skills you could freelance online. And the way we want to run this community is in such a way that people will know us as a hub of mom in tech. And if they even need a job, we would have somebody within that community that can help out. So somebody needs a graphic designer. Just reach out to us and Mom in Tech, and we have tons of graphic designers, mom. Anyone that is available will show their portfolio, and then they get the job. Probably they need a full stack developer in setting up their website or whatever. Right. We have stuff like that. So it's like a hub. And outside tech, we feel like we could serve as support system, because being a mom and doing all of this is not easy. This can be very daunting task. So we could serve as a support system, just give ourselves emotional support. Any of the support that the mom needs at that moment, we'll be ready to give, because we are just together and we want to support ourselves to be great as well.
Right. Okay. So, Bukola, tell us, what are the challenges you faced post-pandemic?
Okay, for me, because I wouldn't say there's sort of challenges, because the post-pandemic is in two ways. Why? Because people are not embracing tech, are embracing virtual like more than before. And most of the things I do is virtual. So it's like a added advantage for me now, because, okay, I could basically do my things virtually. But outside that, it has also really limited the human interaction, because most of these things before we do via human interaction. So it's like you're not trying to figure out how to go virtually. And one of the challenge I would say is that it's not everybody that will have access to internet access. So that's a big problem. So how do I reach out to some of these women? How do I reach out to some of my clients? How do I reach out to, because majorly I'm focused with outside mom in tech. I focus with the people in the less developed communities. So that's like an underserved community. So my challenge basically right now is people in my community that I want to serve don't have access to basic internet. Like, I don't understand how I'm going to go about that. So that's a big challenge. I'm trying to even crack that at the moment.
So tell me the challenges, which are the short-term consequences you were able to control and how?
Okay. The short-term consequences is the fact that realizing that pandemic has come to stay and there's no way about it at the moment. So what better way am I going to go about this? At first, for Mom in Tech, wanted to launch not virtually, wanted to probably launch somewhere offline to just create awareness. But right now, because of it, I'm just trying to do things virtually right now. So we're trying to see, okay, how I'm going to get so much momentum, like attention, then launch virtually, or probably start creating our hub, because we already have an Instagram page, but it hasn't been so active as I would want to. So, but I'm seeing, okay, we could work a way around it to make it virtual. Likewise, the Kankbe Africa, the EdTech. For that one, I'm not really seeing the short-term consequences is me working with the limited resources I have. So what is limited resources? I'm trying to work with Zoom at the moment. I'm trying to use Zoom I'm leveraging on Zoom to actually achieve my goals. So that's basically what I'm doing now. So I'm trying to figure out ways out and just the limited resources I have and trying to utilize that resources better.
Right. So, Bukola, tell us that what are the effects will this crisis have on your long-term consequences?
Well, for me, it's a blessing because it has helped everybody embrace technology.
Right.
So, because right now, for my health tech project, the first challenge I had then was trying to really, because I remember it was even last year before pandemic that I had the idea of doing probably teleconference, telemedicine, and it seemed far-fetched. I could remember when I was in Morocco, I was talking to a Nepal friend, and I was sharing this idea to him, and I was saying, can this be replicated in Nepal? And he was like, no, we don't do stuff like that. But I was surprised when the pandemic came, and he reached out to me, and he was like, Bukola, sorry about this thing I told you, but what the idea you shared is what we are really using now in Nepal. And I'm like, can't you just see what is happening? So people are now embracing technology unlike before. So people are not seeing it as a way out, and they are really embracing it. So for me, I really do not see any effect on the crisis. Is not having any effect on my market. It's not even having effect. It's like it's even promoting it for me. It's promoting it, which I'm even glad.
Right. So I think, Bukola, let us talk about the fact that you work with a lot of moms who are not technology savvy, as you say, and they are not able to embrace the technology as much. So how did you sort of you encourage them to use technology because of the lockdown?
Okay, so what I've done is this. By the time I have people reach out to me in terms of, okay, because I have this business I'm running, I have something I'm doing. The first thing I tell them is that go get a chat booth. Because I feel like, let me subtly introduce technology to what you're doing. Right. And I'm like, by the time you get a chat booth, I can help you create a chat booth. By the time you get a chat booth for your business, it makes you run seamlessly. You don't have to be there, so you can do some other things. So what I've done basically is this. When you come with your, whatever you were telling me you're doing, I'm thinking, what is the tech part that I can introduce you to? So that subtly, by the time you see the benefits of this tech, by the time you see that, wow, this thing is even helping me to be more effective, more productive, because I'm not sitting down attending to customers all day long. My chat booth is doing that for me. Then with time, everybody begins to see the good, because what the media is portraying at some point was about the whole pandemic, the whole technology, talking about the 4G, making it seem so bad. But by the time everybody starts seeing that this thing is not really as bad as people are really portraying it, then it's going to really help a lot. It's going to help a lot. And by the time they also know that they don't really need to be tech savvy before they embrace tech. By the time the chatbot is built, we could always operate it, and you don't need to be tech savvy in doing that as well.
So tell us that, just talk about your creative de-risking model with us.
Okay, one thing I feel about this creative de-risking is because interacting with human beings is a bit limited right now. People are being forced to actually figure out creative ways to reach out to people online. So let me use this example. Comedians at first, where I'm sure comedians, their usual setup of work style is for them to go on for physical meetings, not offline meetings. But with the pandemic now, they're creatively looking at virtual online comedies, which has been done in my country here. So we have some comedians that go virtually and people are being entertained. I see it as a way, I see it as people being pushed beyond their normal reasoning, people being pushed beyond their normal thinking. So it's like we are extending our heart of thinking, which I feel is a good one, because sometimes we might get so comfortable with the way we do things, the way we run things, the way we see things. But this pandemic has shifted some of our mindset, some of our thinking, some of our ways of doing things. So definitely I see creative de-risking as a very big one in this industry right now. Like, it's making people come out with the best that they have.
Yeah, I think your enthusiasm is very contagious, and I'm sure a lot of women from around the world would be so happy to start at least their tech journey sometime. Thank you so much for being on this platform. And Bukola, can you very quickly tell us what is next for you? What's your future plans?
Okay, my future plan is to go fully with my health tech startup and my mom in tech. Like, that's been a desire of mine, even though we started the pilot stage. So, and the future of the Inculcate Africa project is not even Nigeria alone, it's Africa. So it's like there's so much to achieve and there's so much to do. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed and very, very excited about what the future holds for me.
Okay. So thank you so much for being on this platform, Bukola. And I'm really honored to take your interview, and I'm sure that you will be able to inspire a lot of women from around the world. This is a series which is Emerging Trends, and Bukola has been talking about what her tech startups has achieved during the pandemic. If you want to know more about Bukola, all the information about Bukola is in the description below the video. Thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you for being on this platform.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.